Hello, everybody. It's me, Shannon LaBruyere. I'm live and loving it tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night Live, where we are going to explore how to thrive in change. The changes that we don't want, that come out of nowhere, that we hate, but also how can we thrive in the changes that we do want? How can we grow and change and thrive even though it means letting go of some of the things that we're familiar with? That's the kind of stuff we talk about here. Welcome. If this is your first time here, make sure you say hi in the comments and let us know you're here. Oh, Pam, hi. It's good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, let us know you're here. Say hi. If you haven't already done it, please give StreamYard permission to post your comments and use your name. That way I'll know you're here. Tammy, hi. Glad your comments are showing up again. That's awesome. Yeah, welcome everybody. And it is the first day of spring. So the spring equinox, and here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are getting ready to shift gears, right? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I am so excited for summer. I love spring. Spring is fine, but I really love summer. So spring is the next step, and I'm ready for it. And I hope you are as well. Let me see before we go too far. We are sponsored here on Sunday Night Live. We are sponsored by thumbroastcoffee.com. The best coffee you will ever drink. It is my favorite. I start looking forward to it the night before. I go to bed and think, ooh, tomorrow I'm going to get up and have some Santa Lake Sunrise or maybe some Blue Lake. Delicious stuff, no matter what roast you choose. I know you are going to love it. And you're going to love even more getting 15% off when you order online at thumbroastcoffee.com. All you have to do is use the coupon code THRIVE and you will get that 15% off. And they'll know that you found it from watching Sunday Night Live. So I invite you to do that. Try some delicious coffee. You will not be sorry. Oh, Kelly, hi. I'm glad you're here. All right, we are going to get started. And tonight's hashtag is hashtag respect the now. Those Thrive principles that we talk about. Let me see. We've got bring the honor, right? We've got respect the now, trust the process, and find the beauty. And those 4 principles are the ones that we rely on when we are in the midst of change, when we are planning change, when we are responding to change. Those 4 principles. Tonight, we're going to hone in on hashtag respect the now, because tonight's topic is all about understanding where we're at right this minute and reflecting on some of the things that may be preventing us from getting what we say we want. Are you ready? If so, give me those thumbs up. I can't wait to get started. So, what we're talking about is why we aren't getting the change that we want. It's not happening. The change we say we want is not happening. And it is so doggone frustrating. Right, Sammy? Right? It is so frustrating when we don't get what we want. And it's especially frustrating when we think we ought to be. So there are a lot of reasons that I can think of why I don't get what I want. You can probably think of some reasons why you don't get what you want. And you know what? These are legitimate reasons. So as I was kind of going through, trying to think of some that I know are common, one of the reasons that we don't get what we want sometimes is timing, right? Sometimes we want it now, and it's not the kind of thing that we can get now. Pam says, yes, right? Yes. So sometimes timing is why we're not getting what we want. So if that's the case with you, if you're looking at what it is you want and you're working toward it, don't quit. Stay the course. Some things take time. So that's a legitimate reason why we aren't getting what we want, right? We need a little more patience because it's just a matter of timing. Eventually, this is going to happen. If I were to wake up tomorrow morning and be frustrated, I don't have my college degree, well, I hadn't started one. So, yeah, the law of timing is at work there. It's going to take some time for me to achieve that goal. And so if I'm frustrated by it, all I need is a little more patience. You hear me? Right? So can you relate to that? Some things you want them now, you don't have them. It's a matter of timing. All right, so here's another reason that I was thinking of that you've probably thought of. This is no big mysterious reason. Sometimes we don't get what we want because it's not good for us. It's really not what we ought to have. And when we're Christians, we ask God all the time, Lord, I want good things, right? And then we ask him for this thing and we don't get it, right? And we're all mad. Well, maybe it wasn't good for us. And I think that's a legitimate reason. There are things that you and I want sometimes that just are not going to be what we thought they were. We're working toward it. We've taken action to get it. A great example of this is my husband, Ken, and I spent about 9 months pursuing the purchase of a business. And we were really excited about it. We invested a lot of our time into purchasing it. We invested a lot of our money into purchasing it. Even before you buy a business, you have to spend a lot of money getting ready to buy a business. You've got to hire attorneys and accountants, and you've got to get assessments, and you need consultants. It was a big deal. And we kept taking step after step toward that thing, getting more and more excited every day. Every time we got a yes, we thought, yes, this is it. It's awesome. And we spent 9 months. Every yes propelled us to the next yes. And we got right to the end. And the answer was no. The person decided not to sell. We had invested 9 months of labor and hopes and dreams and money. You name it. We had plans. We knew what we were going to do to train people. It was intense. And we got right up to the deadline, and the person decided not to sell it. All of our hard work seemingly wasted. And we were, I don't want to say we were crushed, but we were disappointed. But this is the thing. We believe that things don't happen to us. They happen for us. And so if you're in that boat, if you have been working towards something and then you don't get it, it's okay to be disappointed. It's understandable to be disappointed, but you can also say, that didn't happen to me, that happened for me. And I'm going to move on knowing that there is something better ahead. One of my clients, she and her husband were pursuing a business, and they were so excited about it, and it fell through, and they were so disappointed. And I get it. I mean, I'd walk that path. And just a couple of weeks ago, they found an even better opportunity, an even better fit. They put in their offer. It was accepted. They're going to close on this business endeavor at the end of the month. They are so filled with joy. And when they look at this opportunity, it makes the other one pale in comparison. That's a legitimate reason, you guys. There is something better for you. If you don't get that thing that you're working toward that you wanted, sometimes it's because it's not going to give you what you want. And God's saying, I've got something better. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Kelly says this, I tried promoting my photography business in the fall at Cider Mills and it didn't pan out. Well, maybe it wasn't the right time, and there is a reason. Yeah, exactly, Kelly. And after you got those no's, as disappointing as it was, you had the opportunity to reflect on that and say, okay, what do I want to do differently? What direction do I want to go to? And you've kept walking. So kudos to you. You didn't get stuck. It's a legitimate reason. If we don't get that thing we want, I should say it this way. When we don't get what we want, one of the legitimate reasons is maybe it wasn't as good for us as we thought it would be. That's legit. So here's the one that I want to talk with you about, because this is the one that sneaks up on us. This is the one that you may not have thought of, but it is every bit as effective at killing your dream as some of those other ones. This is what it's called. I want you to write this down. I'm going to get a drink while you do. Thank you. All right. Here's what it's called. Competing commitments. Competing commitments. Competing commitments is when we have one set of beliefs that we're committed to, and at the same time hold another set of beliefs that are in direct opposition to the others. They compete. We're committed to this belief system, and we're committed to this belief system, and they are opposites. So let me give you an example of what this is like. An entrepreneur working hard to build her business, and now she's got this business to the point where it can't get any bigger, right? It can't get any bigger. She's built it. It's been great, but now it's just staying right here, and it's just can't get any bigger. So she says she wants to grow her business. And she also says she doesn't want to delegate any tasks. Okay, so she wants to see her business grow, and she doesn't want anybody else to do anything in her business. Competing commitments. She believes that it's important for her business to grow, and she simultaneously believes that she is the only person who can do anything of value in her business. See what I mean? Competing commitments. Those two things cannot be true at the same time. She cannot grow her business and do it without allowing other people to come in and bear some of the load, take some of the tasks. So she believes it's important to grow her business, and she believes it's important for her to do everything. Guess what's going to happen? Her business is not going to grow, and she will not be able to do everything. Those competing commitments take a lot of our energy. How about this one? One of my clients wanted to make more money on her job. And every time she tried to get past a certain income level, it didn't happen. She couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Kept hitting her head on this lid of her income level. And she was so frustrated by it. Why can't I make over this amount? Why can't I get past it? Every time I try, it fails. Every time I go to a job and I get ready to get right up to that salary threshold, something happens and I don't make it. What's going on? And so, with a little bit of digging, a little bit of coaching, this is what we discovered. She was committed to the belief that rich people are heartless snobs. When she thought of a rich person in her head, she thought of a snobby person who didn't have time for anybody, who was selfish, who was heartless. That's the picture she had of a rich person in her head. And so whenever she approached that salary level that she felt like was going to be the difference between her being just her average every day and really getting a leg up, she couldn't do it. She couldn't make that next step. Not because she wasn't capable, and I want you to hear this, not because she wasn't capable of earning that amount of money, of contributing that amount of value to a company so that she could get that amount of money. She was totally capable. The thing is that she believed something about rich people that prevented her from becoming one. She didn't want to be a heartless snob, right? She didn't want to be a heartless snob. So she couldn't go up that salary ladder because she didn't want to be the kind of person that she thought made that kind of money. She didn't even realize that that was the belief she held. You can say you want a better job. You can say you want to lose weight. You can say you want to get more sleep. But if you believe that a job in management makes you a sellout, and if you believe that if you lose weight, you're going to become a shallow beauty, and if you believe that if you get more sleep, you won't be exhausted, and if you believe that being exhausted is how you know you're working hard, you're going to get stuck. I'm seeing a bunch of amens from Carol here. Yeah, you're going to get stuck because your competing commitments, those beliefs that are diametrically opposed to each other, are going to prevent you from making progress. Does that make sense? So I'm going to ask you to take a moment and reflect, where do you potentially hold competing commitments? This is a great question that you can ask yourself. It's a great question to ask yourself often for many, many reasons. You might want to write this one down. What am I afraid will happen if I get what I want? What am I afraid will happen? Actually, you should put it this way. What am I afraid will happen if I get what I say I want? If you've been saying you wanted it for years and you still don't have it, there's a reason. And it might be that it's just not a good time, right? You got to be patient. It might be that it's just not for the best, that God knows, and he's keeping you from something that could cost you later, and you trust it. Like, okay, good. I can live with that. But when you ask yourself the question, what am I afraid will happen if I get what I want? You're starting to open up the door just a crack and peek in to your belief system and starting to shine a little light in there, saying, okay, what's hanging out in there that I might not have thought about before? It's shining that light into the closet and seeing, okay, what's in here that I've not noticed, because it's causing some things to not work right. Competing commitments, without us knowing it, can prevent us from moving forward. They can prevent us from being happy. If you believe that being happy means you're being selfish, are you ever going to be happy? But if you don't ask yourself the question, you might never realize it, that, oh my word, all the happy people I look like, I just think they're being selfish. I think being miserable is a badge of honor. Worth asking yourself the question, what am I afraid will happen if I get what I want? Am I afraid that it will mean that I'm shallow and that I don't care about things, that I don't care about other people if I pursue my dream? I know it's sometimes tough. But it's important. It's important if we want to actually see change happen in our lives that we say we want. We also have to be willing to examine what's preventing us from getting those changes. I'm not going to say that there's no excuse for you not getting what you say you want, because I don't believe that's true. But I do believe sometimes we blame things for the fact that we're not making progress, and that's not the problem at all. That's why I'm saying, when we look at ourselves, asking ourselves the question, what am I afraid will happen if I get that change? What am I afraid will happen? Because I've been saying I want fill in the blank for 5 years and I still haven't done it. What's going on with that? What are your guys' thoughts? What are you thinking about that? What are you thinking? I work with leaders. While you're typing in some stuff, you guys throw a comment in there. Is there an area in your life where you identified that you've got a competing belief? If you are brave enough to share it, I would love to hear it. I would love to find out a little bit more about what keeps you stuck. Or maybe you've never thought of it this way before, and it's going to take you a little time to reflect. When I work with leaders, I see this idea of competing commitments a lot. And often it's when a leader says, I want my people to be empowered. I want to empower my people to make decisions. I want them to take ownership. And the leader, when he or she says that, often means it. They believe it when they say it, but then they never follow through on it because they believe that their job as a leader is to tell everybody what to do. And if people are deciding what to do by themselves, then they must not be leading. Competing commitments, being committed to two belief systems that do not allow the other one to be right. They get stuck. They get frustrated, trying to boss people around while at the same time asking themselves, why are they not taking ownership and why aren't they being more accountable? That's why. Because that leader, in all of their actions, everything they do sends the message, I'm the boss, I'll make the decisions, you don't have to think, you just do what I tell you. And even though their mouth says this, I want you to take ownership of what you do. What their actions say is, I'm only going to allow you to do the things I want you to do. Right? How about parenting? We say we want our kids to grow up, and yet, I can feel it, right? I see some of you going, oh yeah, I've done that. We say we want our children to grow up sometimes, and then we don't allow them to make decisions that allow them to do so because we believe that it's our job to protect them from all harm at the same time that we believe we want them to be grown-ups and learn to think for themselves. Competing commitments. So, any comments, anybody? That's pretty much what I've got. The reason that you probably didn't think of. The reason that you might not be getting what you want, that you might not have ever considered, is that there's a part of you that doesn't want it at all. And that part is a competing commitment. Make sense? I hope so. If you've got some comments, if you've got some questions, I will be monitoring the chat for the next hour or two here on Facebook Live. And for those of you who are listening to the audio of this on podcast, send me a message. Jump on Facebook. You can go to my page, Thrive and Change page. You can send me a private message. You can send me an email. You can find me at SL for Shannon LaBruyere, SL at shannonlabruyere.com. I would love to hear from you. If you suspect that there are some competing commitments that are preventing you from getting what you want, I can help you. I've helped many, many people get to the root of competing commitments so that they could implement the change they wanted to see. That client that struggled with that payroll, with that pay level, I should say, she surpassed that pay level. She's gone well above it. She is on her way because she realized those competing commitments. Corinne says, great questions to contemplate. Good. Yeah, not everything comes to us this fast, right? It's just worthy. These are things that are worth taking some time to think about, digest, ask ourselves the questions, and then decide, all right, now that I've seen a competing commitment, which one of those things is true and how do I know? Which one of those things is true and how do I know? Something has to give. With that, my friends, I am going to wish you a wonderful week. Happy first day of spring. This is an opportunity for you to spring into some joy, and I hope you do. I hope that the changes you want in your life are happening for you. If they aren't, I'm here to help. I would love to hear from you. Take care. Have a great week. Mwah. I love you. Bye.